Alright, so here we have the lavish, reconditioned offices of Naspers. It's still the same building, it's just been given a new facade to modernize and make it more hip. For many years it was a sort of a dull grey stone building done in a sort of a style of a modernist style, but very consistent with the sort of over-empowering austerity of the apartheid regime. It's now a fanciful mess of hierarchy in which the offices of various apartheid luminaries, a man by the name of D.F. Malan is possibly quite familiar with historians, but also people like Pete Salee and other individuals. Die redakteur van die Burger, the Afrikaans daily newspaper. We're just going to take a bit of a walk. I'm not going to go in. I don't want to get involved in another altercation, but we're going to take a bit of a tour here. This is where the all-white Afrikaner press was based during apartheid, and the campaign against the Truth Commission would have been launched. This company actively supported the campaign of opposition by their director P.W. Botha against the Truth Commission, and are continuing to defend their opposition campaign. Legal counsel have dismissed the Truth Commission as just a commission. The report is just a report, nothing to get heated up about, and proceeded to essentially authorize grand larceny, theft of my byline, forging of my signature, the forging of uttering of false documents issued by a business person, a labour broker in bed with the company, actively involved, shareholder, director of a labour brokerage company, procured by the company to hand down a decision rigged in their favour. And now we have the strange circumstances, the manner in which the office of the President of Cape Law Society has been procured, essentially a purchase of high office by the authors of apartheid. So this is the base of the place where many of the policies to do with the apartheid system would have been issued, penned, authored, advocated in broad daylight. And no contrition. There's been a limited apology issued last year by Esmery Vederman, the CEO of Naspers, referring to only one instance involving a coloured individual where there was a small little problem about separate facilities. An apology which does not address any of the central concerns of the victims and survivors of the apartheid system, bearing in mind that an apology issued to the heavens isn't really an apology, is it? An apology would be something a face-to-face apology to persons such as myself, other people involved in opposition to the system. We've suffered the professional consequences of opposition to apartheid, where I've been told that I'm a problem individual because I've got a vendetta against apartheid. I've got a vendetta against the company because of its failure to come clean at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. I'm afraid that is not an ethical system of laws by any means. You cannot base a system of ethics on support of racism and separate development.
Full building?
Yeah, do you know that this was the building where D.F. Malan, one of the key persons responsible for apartheid, had his office? Do you know this? You didn't know that?
No.
You don't know anything about the building? Do you know that this was the establishment Afrikaner press that fought tooth and nail to hang on to white privilege? You don't know anything about it? Do you know anything about this building in front of you? Did you know that this was the building where Dieff Malan, the man who was one of the major forces behind apartheid, had his office? They didn't tell you, right? Did you know that this company is involved in a case that's related to the Truth Commission at the High Court, the Equality Court? You don't know because they haven't told you, because they're a media company, right?
Yeah.
And the media doesn't cover itself, right?
Yeah.
So it's just such a good cover. If you've got something to hide, start a media company, right? Your reaction?
Well, kinda.
What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, sure.
Right. If I say the word apartheid, you say? No way.
Just started working here.
Do you know that this is where Dieff Malan, the major force behind apartheid, had his office?
Oh, really? I had
The
no
com-
idea.
You had no idea, not a clue. And you know that this was the company responsible for creating a lot of the policies that informed the system of white privilege.
I had no idea.
And do you know that this company is involved in a case at the High Court, the Equality Court, to do with the Truth Commission?
No, I had no idea.
You don't know because they're a media company, right? And their business is to, what the business of media is to lie. Yeah, it's a perfect, yeah. So, and what is your name?
JP.
JP, do you work here?
Yeah, I work here as well. Yeah.
Have they told you that there was a problem with apartheid, that they've got this like weird history?
No, it's only been my second month now. Yeah. So generally still new.
Right, so it's quite surreal that they sort of hide that stuff from you, and that they only issued an apology last year. Did you know about that?
No, not at all.
There was the CEO of the company, Esme Vademan, issued an apology supposedly to the victims, but she only mentions one example of a coloured individual who had a problem with separate facilities. It was like no big deal, right?
Oh, wow.
So like they had nothing to do with the murder of Stephen Bantu Biko and incarceration of Nelson Mandela, right?
Yeah.
They didn't tell you that?
No.
Right. Fantastic. G'day, sir. I'm just doing a documentary. Do you know anything about this building?
Just as I work in it.
Yes. Do you know that this building housed the offices of the late Dieff Malan, a man instrumental in the creation of apartheid?
Really?
They didn't tell you?
No.
And they haven't told you about the case involving the company and the Truth Commission?
No.
It's been ongoing since forever, and there was a hearing at the High Court of Cape Town. They didn't tell you that? Maybe it's because they're a media company and their business is too? What is
I
a
suppose
media
each
company?
company for themselves. It's not, court cases are very subjective, so
Right.
let's wait for what the outcome is.
Right, and are you aware that the apology issued by the company last year is Mary Weideman? Did she apologize to you?
Excuse me?
Esme Weideman, the CEO, issued an apology last year in July.
I don't really want to get involved
You didn't watch,
with politics.
you don't want to get involved in politics, right? This building that you're standing in front of. You don't want to be filmed about it? You don't want to be filmed? Do you guys work here? You're Media 24 employees? You're not? You work for Naspers? You're just having coffee, right? The Naspers building, yeah. You work in it? Do you know that it used to house the office of the late Dieff Malan? Do you know who he is?
No, I know.
You know that he was instrumental in the creation of the apartheid system? Did they mention that the company's involved in a case involving the Truth Commission? No. They're a media company, so their business is to what? This building here, do you know anything about it?
It's Media 24.
Yeah.
Not really.
Do you know the story about Dieff Malan and his office over here?
No.
Do you know who he is?
I only know that the building is about the center for media and magazines and something like that.
Right, so they didn't tell you about apartheid?
No.
The guy who created apartheid, this was his company.
I think we're going to look for it.
You want to look that up,
Yeah,
right?
we're going to look it up.
And do you know the Dieff Malan's business partner?
No.
We
don't know.
You don't know who H.F. Ruvut is?
No. We're still new to Cape Town.
Still new to Cape Town. Where are you guys from?
He's from KZN, I'm from East Eastern Cape.
Eastern Cape. Okay. So you never experienced apartheid, yeah?
Not much, no.
And they haven't told you this?
Nah, no.
Okay, thank you so much. Anything about this building?
No, I don't, sorry.
You don't know?
No, it's Media 24.
You know it's Media 24, but you know that it was the office of DF Milan.
No,
They didn't tell you about his business partner HF Verwoerd. And they haven't told you about the companies involved in a case involving the Truth Commission. It's ongoing as we speak.
we don't work here, so we're not.
Right. But you know that they're a media company. And what is the business of media? To tell the lies.
And
To
the
spread the lies, right?
yes, the truth and the lies.
And the lies, yeah.
Because once the lies are out, the truth comes out as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You don't know who he is?
No.
I'll give
Just
you...
know about the Malan airport.
Right, but do you know about this guy HF Verwoerd?
Yes.
This is the business over there. First call.
Okay.
Right. And do you know that the company's involved in a case to do with the TRC report as we speak?
No.
And they haven't told you because the business of media is? News. Right, and they're supposed to tell the lies. The truth, right? The public, yeah.
Public.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.